Hello, good morning. Welcome to our Wednesday morning live chat where we talk all about home care agency ownership, whether it's tips, whether it's what's going on in the current climate. And we also discuss requirements for your state. We have a great library inside of our Facebook group of states that we've already researched and the corresponding links to the important information you need for whether it's application, rules and regs, things of that nature. If you are in there and you click on a link and it says not found, do let me know. The states often change things pretty regularly and they'll just get rid of a whole page. So I want to make sure that we're inside of our group. Right now we're on our page. I post this to our page. I post it to YouTube as well, so that way we're spreading this good information around. All right, so we're going to the group and there, posting over there. Perfect. All right, and my name is Bethany. If we have not yet met, I'm the creator of this space, the Home Care Agency Startup Method, and also where we share all this great information, but also the Academy, where we have two programs that help you get started with your agency. And I'm always joined by my wonderful pets. So they're always here. You can see them actually in the background. They're having their morning playtime. So that's all right. All right, let's talk about Delaware, shall we? Before we do, though, I do just want to give a little nod to a conversation I saw in the Facebook group regarding licensing and getting licensed specifically in New York and Pennsylvania, I think it was. Yeah. So yes, both those states require pretty lengthy application processes. It can be done. You got to take it piece by piece, set that up. I do offer, outside of the two core programs that include application assistance, I do offer just application assistance. If that is something that you're needing, you can let me know and email me if you want more information about that. In New York, there's going to need to be what's called a certificate of need, and basically it's all dependent on where you plan on providing services in New York, like how much you'll have to go into that. I am currently working with an owner on that right now, and I am learning so much about that in New York, and creating everything that we need for that. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I know it can be overwhelming. And Pennsylvania, yes, that is such a long application, and lots and lots and lots of things are needed. It's very similar to Illinois and Virginia, where you got to submit a lot of things up front. So don't get overwhelmed. Reach out. Consider either one of the programs or the application assistance if you fall into that, where you're kind of like, this is a lot. Just reach out. All right. So Delaware, let's talk about it. So in Delaware, non-medical home care agencies are actually regulated as personal assistant services agencies. PASA is what we're going to call it. And this is going to be anything that, what will qualify for this is anything with non-medical. So we're all non-medical is what we're talking about here. We do not provide any skilled services with a PASA, okay? So this is the different thing. So in most of our states, we're going to be submitting an application. However, in Delaware, step number 1 is going to be submitting a statement of intent. So you need to begin with a written statement of intent. This letter should describe the services that your agency is going to offer and formally request a PASA licensure application. So then they're going to give you the application. So normally when I'm doing my research on these states, I'm looking at definitions, I'm looking at the application, and that's how I gather my information. I can't find an application in Delaware. And now I know why. It's because you have to submit that letter of intent, and then they send you the application, okay? So you're going to complete that, And then you're going to have some documentation that you have to submit along with that application. Again, not to overwhelm you, just want to prepare you what that might look like. So your policies and procedures manual, organizational information, so a governing body. Really, to have a governing body, you need to only have like 2 to 3 people to make that happen. It's no big deal, can work it out and figure it out. I feel like every time I come on this, my animals are like, ooh, she's doing something. I'm going to be super distracted. So they're like behind me right now, like mouthing each other. Oh my gosh, it's very distracting. Anyway, stop it, please. All right, I'll hold you. Okay. They were all sleeping before I hit start. I swear. Okay, so let's talk about what else you would need. You're going to need to have your services description. At the services that you're going to provide, you got to have some insurance information here, and then you submit the application along with the fee that is non-refundable, which is pretty standard, unfortunately. But oftentimes they'll come back to you with like, hey, you need to fix this, and then everything's okay. I'm like, I feel like a magician. I picked up a white dog, right? You saw a white dog in my lap. She hopped down, and then Ripley hopped up. Okay, Ripley. Oh my gosh. They're like, feed us, it's breakfast time. Stop. Ouch. Okay. It's winter, right? And they can't get out and get all their energy out. And so I've just noticed, like, they have cabin fever, like you would not believe. All right. So the other things with Delaware, you got to have your required background checks. You're going to need to do that. Adult and child abuse registry checks. You're going to have to do some drug screening. The application fee is $250. Again, non-refundable. And annually, though, to renew is only $100. So that's kind of nice. The processing times for getting this all together, it can vary. But after you submit your initial application with the fee and all the materials, they're going to review everything for compliance. If everything is in order, the department will issue an initial license very quickly, often within a few weeks. And this is a probationary license valid for only 90 days. So during that 90-day initial licensure period, your agency is expected to begin operations and admit clients. So you get to start with this license, which is really cool. And then they're going to come out and conduct an on-site survey of your agency. They're going to look at your policies, your records, observe any service delivery to ensure that you're following the regulations. If your agency passes the survey and is in compliance with all requirements, the state's going to issue a full 1-year license at the end of that 90 days, all right? So that's kind of cool. Again, you're going to want to be following all the compliance. And I'm going to put all this information, I'm going to upload it all in the guide section of the group that we have here, okay? All right, so the only other thing that I wanted to share with you, because the rest is just about like policies, procedures, compliance, is I also have the contact information there. Yeah, so a big question that I get 2 big questions. One is, do I have to have an RN in my state? And no, in Delaware, you do not have to have an RN. If you decide to have an RN and you're not doing non-skilled, and you are doing non-skilled, the RN has to work in their scope of a PASA agency, meaning they can only do things like open up cases, develop that plan of care. They're not going to be going out and doing any sort of skilled care like IV antibiotics or anything like feeding tubes or anything of that nature. So if you wanted to get into that space of the home health, then you would need to change your license to home health so you could be offering that skilled care. So I always get that question. So no, you don't have to have an RN, but if you do decide to have an RN or an LPN, they have to work within their scope. And the other question I get is, can I have a home office? And in Delaware, yes, you can. You can have a home office. Again, you just got to make sure that you are maintaining compliance, privacy, and locked filing cabinet, separate door with a locked entrance, and that usually suffices the requirements. So if you're thinking about starting your agency in Delaware, I hope that this helps you. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you for being here with me today and enduring my crazy pets. All right, have an awesome